What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, and aid you in your growth and development. Family, man, we have to grow up. We have to understand that, man, life is a beautiful thing. Life is beautiful. It's all good. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. It's good. And what I mean by that, it's always going to work out for you. But you got to get out of that victim mentality. You got to get out of that woe is me and life's not fair and look at what I got to deal with and blah, 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 blah. That's all negative. That's toxic as hell. You got to learn and grow through that shit and understand, man, I got to let this shit go. You know what I mean? I got to let this grow. I got to let this go. It's dogging me out. It's going to sabotage everything I want to create. It's going to sabotage everything I want to accomplish in my life. If I don't let go of this toxic crap, if I don't let go of this woe is me and life's not fair and all this other negative shit, this victim mentality, it's going to ruin your life. It's going to dog you out. I promise you that. We got to grow up emotionally and understand that, man. And again, it does not matter what you've gone through. And I know people are like, well, how can you say that? And you don't know my pain. You don't know. I don't know your pain. I don't know the struggles that you've gone through. But it don't matter what pain and struggles you've gone through. Everything that we go through, everything that we go through in life is intended to teach us something about ourselves. Everything that we go through in life, we have to learn to heal. Everything we go through in life, we got to grow the fuck up and understand that, damn, this is going to help me become a better person. This is going to help me become a more loving person. This is going to help me become a more wise person. We got to grow up and stop acting like little kids. Stop acting like little babies. Spoiled ass little kids. And again, it doesn't matter what you've gone through. And I'm not being insensitive. I understand that there are big people that have gone through a lot of tragic shit. I understand that there have been people that have gone through molestations and rapes and abandonments and physical abuse and just the whole gamut. I get that. I understand that. Everybody's journey ain't the same, as in the aspect of we all go through different stuff. But regardless of what you go through, it's to help you. It's to help you. It's not to punish you. It's not to dog you out. There's not a God sitting up in the sky somewhere getting his rocks off, just enjoying seeing you've been dogged out. There's not some God somewhere just laughing at the hell and crap that you're going through. We have to grow up emotionally. We have to understand that, man, it's all good. Whatever it is that you got to go through, count it joy. And what I mean by that is understand that, okay, you know what? I don't get this. I don't understand why I got to go through this. I don't understand that yet. But I understand that it's going to help me out. I understand that if I understand this, and if I grow through this and allow myself to let go of this negative energy attached to this lesson, it's going to help me in life. It's going to give me tools and things to be able to go on to the next stage in life. It's hard. It's painful. I feel lonely. I feel frustrated. I feel brokenhearted. I feel desperate. I feel hatred and anger and all these other emotions. I feel this. I get this. But I have to grow up emotionally and understand that, man, I got to deal with this stuff. I got to understand why I feel hatred. I got to understand why I feel jealousy, why I feel rage, why I feel depressed. Why do I feel so suicidal? Why do I feel like just giving up? What is it about this experience? What is it about these feelings that I'm holding on to? That I need to grow through? Get that? We got to grow through that shit. Don't just get stuck there. Don't get complacent and just like, okay, well, this is my lot in life and I'm never going to be happy. I'm never going to have joy. I'm never going to have peace. I'm never going to have love. I'm never going to have money. Man, don't get stuck there. You may not have it now in this season, but it doesn't mean that it's not supposed to be in your next season. But if you give up in this season, you'll never get to your other seasons. If you never get on first base, you can never get to second base. And if you never get to second base, you can never get to third base. We got to grow up. We have to grow up. And so many of us, we've gotten stuck. We've gotten stuck. And we don't realize how stuck we've gotten emotionally. We got money coming in, but we haven't got beyond the frustration in our lives as far as, man, I don't have somebody and I'm not good enough and I'm just good enough to pay people's bills and I'm just good enough to loan people money. I'm just good enough for but I'm not good enough for somebody to love. I'm not good enough for somebody to want to marry. I'm not good enough for somebody to want to be committed to. I'm not good enough for somebody to want to travel and experience all the beautiful things in life. I'm just good enough just to pay people. I'm just good enough just to be a loan bank. I'm just good enough to let people borrow money. I'm just good enough for and all this other stupid shit. Your life only seems that way because you got stuck there. That's where you got stuck at. You feel like you're good enough to have sex with you, but you're not good enough to marry. You're good enough to have sex with, but you're not good enough to be committed to. You're good enough to have sex with, but you're not good enough for somebody to put a ring on your finger and to love you and to hold you and to cherish you and to value you. All of you, not just the sexual aspects of you. You only feel that way because that's where you got stuck at. That's where you got stuck at. And all the people that come in your life that just want to bang your back out and bust your back out, all they're showing you is that, man, this is where you got stuck at. But you get mad at these people. Oh, they just taking me for granted and they just taking advantage of me and they just using me. It's like, no, grow up. They're showing you that you've allowed yourself to get stuck here. Why did you get stuck here? Why has this become the norm for you? We got to grow up. We got to grow up. And just because a guy is being nice to you, just because a guy is trying to help you, don't mean he want to break your back. Don't mean he want to hit you. You know what I mean? As far as, have sex with you. Just because somebody of the opposite sex or the same sex, if that's what you're into, if somebody's been nice to you, don't mean that they just want to have sex with you. Just because somebody may be attracted to you, don't mean that they want you. We got to grow up emotionally and understand these things. And we see all these people and it's like, oh man, all these bitches just want to fuck me. All these dudes just want to, just hit this and da-da-da. It's like these motherfuckers ain't really thinking about you. If the truth be told. But you've allowed yourself to get stuck in the aspect that you're just good for sex. You've allowed yourself to get stuck in the aspect you're just a pretty thing to look at. You've allowed yourself to get stuck in the aspect, oh, you got nice muscles and nice tats and women are attracted to you. But they don't want to be committed to you. You've gotten stuck there. And you got to grow up. You got to understand that you're stuck. You got to understand and grow through, man, How did I get stuck here? What the hell happened in life for me to get stuck here? That way I can release that. That way I can grow through that and let that go. And stop carrying all of that negative, toxic energy with me. We have to grow up. We have to understand if there's some shit that's happened to you and you didn't like that shit, why do you keep taking that shit with you everywhere you fucking go? Make this shit make sense. And that was one of the hard things that God had to show me. Elijah, you didn't like the fact that your father murdered your mama when you was 2. Right in front of you. Elijah, you didn't like the fact that those dudes molested you when you were 6 years old. Why the fuck are you still carrying that trauma? If you didn't like that shit then, make sense of it, of how and why you keep carrying that shit with you. That shit happened one time. My father murdered my mom, May 7th, 1972. And I carried that trauma for decades. For decades. I was molested in 1976, twice. I carried that trauma, that sexual abuse, for decades. And I didn't even know I was carrying it. I didn't even understand that I was carrying that trauma. If you don't know you're carrying the trauma, how can you understand that, man, I gotta grow through this? I gotta let this go if you don't even know that you have it with you. You're carrying that negativity. You're carrying that negative energy. A part of your life has got stuck right there. And every day when you wake up, you pick that shit up and you put it in your backpack. And wherever you go, you got all that negative shit with you. And the cold-blooded part is you don't even know that you're picking this shit up. It's already in your backpack, and you're just carrying the backpack, not knowing that you got all this toxic shit in there. It's like going for a hike. And you picking up all these fucking boulders and putting it in the fucking bag. And trying to walk up in the fucking mountains. Carrying all this extra fucking weight. You're never going to reach your full potential. You're never going to reach the top of the mountain carrying all that extra fucking shit. We got to grow up. We got to understand, man, what is it about my life that's causing me to slow down? What is it about my life that's holding me back? What is it about my life that's keeping the love of my dreams away? What is it about my life that's keeping my financial abundance away? What is it about my life that's keeping peace and joy and happiness away? What is it about my life that's keeping the job of my dreams away? There's something you're doing that's keeping that shit at bay. So you'll never get it. Not because you're not supposed to have it. You're supposed to have those things. But what we do is we justify why we ain't got them. And then we twist and say, oh, it's just not God's will. That's just not the lot of my life. That's just not God's purpose for me. I'm just not supposed to be happy. God just doesn't want me to have a man. God just don't want me to have a woman. God just wants me to be alone. God just don't want me to have money in abundance. God just wants me to trust on him and depend on him and be broken, frustrated, and just crying out and begging and all this other stupid shit. We justify our lack. We justify what we ain't got. Because we don't want to grow up emotionally and understand, nah, motherfucker, it ain't about God keeping that shit away from me. It's about there's something within me that's keeping that shit away from me. And that something within me is the negative shit that I'm holding on to, that I can't go any further. I can't get what I want because my hand is full with the bullshit that I've been carrying. My cup's already full. Until I let go of this negative, toxic shit that no longer serves me. Until I let go of all this negative, toxic energy. I'll never get the love of my dreams. I'll never get peace and joy and happiness. I'll never get the money that I want. I'll never be able to do all that I came here to do. Because the truth is, it's not white people's fault that we can't do what we want to do. It's not Asian people's fault. It's not Hispanic people's fault. We can't do what we want to do. It's our motherfucking fault. But we don't want to grow the fuck up emotionally and understand that. So we'll put the blame on Donald Trump. We'll put the blame on the Republicans. We'll put the blame on the church folk. We'll put the blame on the conservatives. We'll put the blame on white men. We'll put the blame on Kamala Harris. We'll put the blame on the liberals and all these other shit. Because we don't want to grow the fuck up and understand, nah, motherfucker, it ain't them, it's me. It ain't what my daddy did 52 years ago, it's me. Because I'm still holding this shit. It ain't what these motherfucking dudes did to me when I was 6 years old. It was me, because I'm still holding on to this shit. It ain't what these women did when they abandoned me and rejected me and and dogged me the fuck out and lied on me and It ain't them, it's me, because I'm still holding on to that negative, toxic shit. It's you. It's you. But you don't want to grow up and accept the responsibility and accountability. You want to keep blaming everybody else because you're not emotionally mature enough to be accountable for the decisions that you're making of getting up every motherfucking day and carrying that toxic shit in your fucking backpack. You don't want to do the work of diving through your backpack and looking in your backpack and saying, why the fuck am I carrying all this shit? I need my water. I need the first aid kit. I need these extra clothes. I need these extra shoes or shoestrings or whatever the case may be. I need these flashlights. I need this food, but I don't need these motherfucking rocks. Why the fuck am I carrying these damn rocks? Man, let me get this shit up out of here. And start throwing that shit to the side and lighten our fucking load. Now that we've lightened our load, now Source, God, the universe, can bring in the shit we're supposed to have. You gotta grow up emotionally and understand this. You can't get joy and peace and happiness if your mind is full of depressing thoughts. You can't get joy, peace, and happiness if your mind is full of suicidal thoughts. You understand how that works? You can't get abundance of money if your mind is full of you not having money. Your mind is so full of what you ain't got that it can't help it. There's no room for you to receive what you ain't got. Because you got all these thoughts and opinions of why you ain't got what you got. You ain't got what you want. So there's no room to receive what you want. We gotta grow the fuck up and catch this. It's all good. It's all good. Everything that you've gone through, everything is to make you more loving. It's to give you a greater understanding of who you are. It's to give you greater understanding of why you're here. To give you greater wisdom to be able to help others who are going through similar things to what you've experienced. We got to grow the fuck up. And it's hard. I get that. Hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, to even challenge your way of thinking. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.